Continuing on, in this video we're going to add a few different types of shapes and make them move again. The ball layer that we have here, if I want to delete this layer, I need to have at least one layer active. So down here we have our new layer icon. We're going to select that and we are going to double click on the layer name, BKGD, short for background, hit enter. Then I could actually delete this layer if I don't want it anymore, as long as I have one here. Notice the difference between these two layers. I've got a blank keyframe that indicates there's nothing that exists on that layer. In this layer, I've got keyframes indicates something exists on that layer. If I decide that I'm going to delete this layer, I can just use the trash can there. I've got a rectangle tool. If I am going to have the stage a certain color, if I publish it, this doesn't matter what the stage color is, it'll disappear. So if I select the stage, it says it's white. If I change it to anything else, we won't see it as green. When we publish it, the stage will disappear. So we are going to select white and just leave it that way. So to put in a background, we are going to select the rectangle tool, make sure object draw mode is on. I don't want to have an outline, so instead of choosing one of these colors, I'm going to choose this. It means that there will not be a stroke on this rectangle. I want my rectangle to be black, and I've decided that I want to change the height of this stage. So I'm just going to select our selection tool. I'll click once on the stage and then I will change the height to 200. This is like a web banner. I can click on the center stage, so it just centers my artwork. I'll go back to the rectangle tool. We've got black, no stroke, object draws on. I can start to draw right over top of the stage, and I'm not sure how far I went over the stage, so I could select my rectangle. I can see in the properties which have changed, it is a drawing object. The width and height is just larger than my stage. I'm going to leave it the way it is there. We don't want to be too much larger than our stage, because if we have things moving around on the stage, we're not going to get an accurate outline of where we are if we make this too much larger. So we could even change this by hand, change it to 805 pixels, and we'll just leave that at 205 pixels. I just want to check the stage again. Looks like everything's covered. Now I'm going to lock this layer. I don't want to accidentally, when I'm moving things around, grab it and move it out of its position. Control Z, my favorite shortcut, undoes that action there, and we are going to lock this layer. Okay, so my background's not going to move at this point. I don't need to make it a movie clip. I'm going to now add a new layer, and I'm going to call this one name. Just hit enter. I'm going to select the text tool. My properties change in accordance to that tool. I'm going to select from the drop down. In class I used this one. It's up to you which one you want to use. You can follow along with the same, or you can pick your own. So I'm going to choose white. I am just going to make sure that the playhead's over here. I'm going to click once on the stage. I'm going to type in my name. Now it doesn't matter right now how large it is. I'll just click back to the selection tool. I select my name. I still have options here, so I could change this. So I could click and drag and make it larger or smaller, or I could actually just type in the exact size that I would like, and and select Enter. If I realize that I've spelt something wrong, I can't make that change in here. I'll have to go back to the text tool and then select and make any changes. If I want to change the size of something, I can't just do it here. I need to actually highlight what I would like to change and change that. Okay, so I'm going to keep it the same size as it was. I'm going to click on the Select tool again, and this isn't really centered clearly. And instead of taking a lot of time to try and figure it out just on my own, is that centered, is that centered? An easy way to align, and we're going to use this on a regular basis, the Align panel located right here. Select that and make sure that I have it checked off Align to Stage, and then I'm going to just select Align Horizontal and Vertical. Select off there, and then we have our text. We've used our text tool in this video. We've learned the Align panel. We've learned how to add layers, lock layers. So if I like this, I can lock it. If I want to hide anything, it's temporarily invisible. If I preview, I can see that it is not deleted. It is just hidden from visibility for right now. So if you're working with a lot of layers and you have layers that are distracting you, you can always just make them invisible temporarily and reveal them again. So that was the text tool, the Align panel, creating new layers, visibility, locking, and I'm going to rename this as our text tool.